Dusk is not a legend talked about often. On the conversation of Orb or Spear, it's usually Fate or Petro or Shang and Orion. There's loads of reasons people don't like Dusk. One probably just being his default design, because I can admit it isn't all that cool looking. Although I actually like him a lot. I had a Dusk phase for a while and even got Black from on console. And even though I haven't played him a ton on PC, he's still pretty rad. A lot of his SIGs are two-part SIGs, which at this point I don't think need an explanation. Orb in SIG is a great SIG of his. It can hit grounded, side light in SIG is also 2 frames if you want to do that, and it's just overall great. Slide charge will even work, it's fun as hell. Side SIG is honestly his worst Orb SIG. It's another 2-part, except this one has the 2 parts hit separately. I don't think it's horrible, but it isn't great. You also can't slide charge it, which kinda sucks. Down SIG is a great SIG, along with in SIG. It can hit grounded, but just barely, and it sends downwards, one of his only SIGs to do that. It might not go well with his light attacks, but it's a great SIG alone. Spear in SIG is interesting. It's a skinny hitbox that grabs opponents above you. It can be difficult to use as a dodge read, but using it to catch opponents coming back from stage feels awesome. Not just that, but it can kill rather early. My favorite SIG of his. Side SIG I don't see a lot of people use, it's just about average. It still does kill a little early though. Down SIG is said to be one of the worst SIGs in the game. I can sort of agree. The hitbox can make it difficult to hit, yes. Although, like the other 2 Spear SIGs, it kills early. And could even be used to edgeguard possibly? I'm not too sure. I personally don't think it would hurt to throw out every now and then, just to change things up. Overall, I'd have to go with Dusk's Orb game. Just all of his Orb SIGs are super great, and most of his Spear SIGs aren't, unfortunately. The skins for Dusk are either a big hit or miss. Personally, for me they hit pretty well, so let's go over them. Although my opinions are a bit scattered. Nimue I think is a super underrated crossover. She has amazing weapons and nice SIG effects. Pretty good as these 3 skins, which are pretty rad, although I like Date Night Dusk a bit better. My favorite Dusk skin that isn't a crossover. And the other 2 fit his theme and have nice weapon and color swaps. And then mid-tier has Dusk Till Dawn and Imperial Lord Dusk. I think they're good skins, but some parts about them don't hit right for me. Overall good skins though. Tier list wise, out of S, A, B, C, and D, I'd place Dusk in about A tier. Spear and Orb are pretty simplistic weapons when you think about it, but can be played seriously great when looking more in depth with them. Like yeah, you could sidelight downlight Sair with Spear, but you could also not. That didn't make as much sense as I wanted it to. What I mean is, more simplistic combos will work, but doesn't it feel better to do more complex or unseen combos? I would like to think so. Anyways, Spear and Orb actually isn't a bad combination, but I just think it's Dusk's stats that ruin him. 6 attack, 7 dex, 4 defense, and 5 speed. High dex doesn't really do anything for Spear and Orb, which leaves him rather low on the rest of his stats. And to be honest, the only stance I could see working well would be attack stance, as it takes out of dex. Speed stance takes out of defense and leaves you with 3 defense, defense takes out of attack and leaves you balanced, and dex is just no. Playrate wise, Dusk has been left in the dust, like a criminally large amount. He's the 2nd least played legend in the game. I honestly thought he was starting to get some recognition. I don't watch the pro scene often, but I could have sworn people were playing him. Hell if I know. It just surprises me that more people will play Roland or even Thatch over Dusk. So I'm not asking you to play Dusk, I'm telling you to play Dusk. He has fun SIGs, simplistic weapons with higher skill ceilings, and he's just super underplayed. He may have 7 dex, but that doesn't mean he can't be a powerhouse. On another note, next week will be a weapon analysis, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Thanks for watching, be sure to subscribe, and of course keep on brawling.